Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I am currently sharing my narcissist story, divine connection, whatever you want to put it. Okay. Again, like I'll say again, my story isn't. I mean, these things are not divine, and I've been through a lot in my situation, and so like this is the ending. I'm closing this chapter out. I'm sharing, a lot, that I've learned through this. Was it been 3 years, 2.5, 3 years? Yeah. And so I want to share, for education purposes and in hopes to help others, because this stuff is just disgusting, and again, it's narcissism, and again, this is, a lot of things I've learned. Nothing goes wasted, you guys, and I always trust everything happens for a reason and purpose. I've healed tremendously. I've evolved. And again, I want nothing to do with this individual. So we're going to talk about a lot of things and how, but this person was very, again, my situation was very, nasty and just disgusting, and so we're going to get into that. We're going to have fun. We're going to be serious. We're going to have, I have lots of jokes. And so this is me, speaking my truth and, speaking, continue speaking my story and stuff. And because I think this is very, very, I don't think it's a joke to mess with people's lives. And so I take this very seriously. And so, yeah, but anyways, this narc is still in my energy, guys. And yeah, I need your support, okay? And I'm, like I said, and this is where we talk about the, them letting go, like, you hear all the shit, like, just disgusting. This person, okay, I mean, and we're going to share, truth. I want to talk about just a lot of things, learning, that I learned just spiritually about, communication, about, listening to outside influences, judgment, you know what I mean? Like all this stuff that, comes in this is not just, toxic abuse, and anyways, and so, my throat, like I said, I went through a lot, and for a lot of shit I shouldn't have had gone through, and again, I started off when I met this person unhealed. I know I shared a video really fast of a quick same stuff that I'm going to share deeply, but I'm sharing just more and more details, and one of the videos is just like, and now, I healed, I've evolved, I've transformed. And that's what, again, these connections, what this taught me is, you're not meant to be this person. These people cannot show you love, okay? But what it is meant to heal those wounds that you already had before you met the narc, right? And so you come across this person, right? And they talk to people, whatever, and you already have these wounds, right? And then they just enhance those wounds and bring them out of you. And so this is where the God Lord showed me those wounds, and you heal those wounds, and then you disconnect and you move on. You know what I mean? And so we're gonna talk about how the narc is the one, does all this stuff like that and just doesn't leave you alone and blah blah blah. You know what I mean? And again, how they spread all these lies and all this, and it's actually the opposite. You know what I mean? It's such a story. And when I first came across this person, again, the narc that I'm dealing with, okay, and you try to I try to talk to this person again, and we're gonna dissect this, okay? And I try to talk to this person. There's no backfiring, nothing like that, okay? And for what I've been through, and nothing, okay? When I was around this person in my past community, again, and I try to talk about, now I see when you're awakened, and I would, a couple times, you know what I mean? And deny. what is that saying? It's called rejection is God's protection and redirection, which it is for you, okay? For the empath, okay? For me. And rejection, right? When you're not healed, you don't see that. Sometimes you could take that personally and be like, oh, what is it me? Is it me? You know what I mean? And that's the opposite, actually. Okay. And what I learned when I healed, you see the rejection is not for you, because you are way good enough. And so God will allow them to reject you because you're not for them. You know what I mean? And this is where I look back and I'm like, ugh, you know what I mean? Like it's true. But when you have to heal those wounds, right? And so rejection. And then he ends up going, again, at that time, I don't know a lot. I was around him a little bit, I served this person and on some of this stuff at the time before I was awakened about, being competitive. This person, trying to be, compete with me, all this stuff like that. Anyways, I didn't know. I was like unawakened, unhealed, la, 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 you know what I mean? Which I looked to the narc naive, or someone like, and they're like this, I even saw the face, and he was just, you know what I mean? Like, and so this person, the narc thought that, at the time, again, I wasn't awakened. I looked naive. I wasn't healed. And so, but little did God know, this is where they think, oh, I could take advantage. I could, you know what I mean? In the narc's head, right? And so, and this is where they prowl on people, that are not, you know what I mean? Or they think like, they could dominate and they could control and manipulate and stuff like that. So anyways, so I walk away from this individual in my community, okay? And the narc. And so, and again, I reiterate again, there was a lot of things going on in this community and gossip and my name, and this is before I really knew who I was, you know what I mean? Who I was called and anointed and who, and stuff like that. And so, so I was at that time, okay, guys, I was casted out. I was rejected. I was, right. And so, this person was how can you say it? Did not appreciate me when I was around this person. Again, rejection. And again, this individual, I was not valued, and at that time, it was an energetic thing. So I was, I looked like this little, unawakened puppy kind of thing, that, you know what I mean? Like, and, so yeah, anyways, and I, just this person ended up, going into, he had things, connections, supply. It was, at one point, a time, I didn't know I was all in this person's grill, like that. But I just knew that this person had things, and I, like, at that time, I didn't know, I wasn't evolved yet, okay? And so, anyways, he ends up going again. So now, this person, again, I had a lot of wounds. Again, there were wounds about being able to speak and, and be confident in who you are, and to be able to say, hey, what's going on? And I did a couple times, you know what I mean? Like, try to, get knowledge about this, and try to give knowledge to the narc, okay? And so, nothing, okay? This person didn't give me nothing, and you could clearly see, now I look back, I could see this person's feelings, all this, you could see it all over him, especially when you're chosen, you could see, I could see clearly, you know what I mean? And that's why I was like, I would be the first one to, initiate, right? Nothing, which, oh God, I'm so thankful. Anyways, and so eventually this person chose, at the time, right before I walked away from this community with the Lord, again, there's lots of gossip, and I was, again, just walking into who I was just, learning. I just started going through an awakening before in the beginning, when right before I walked away. And so anyways, yeah. So anyway, he ended up going into another connection. He had a choice. At the time, it was pick me, karmic, or the divine feminine. Now I see it. God, led me through everything, you guys, and I couldn't thank him. Even when I wasn't awake at that time, this person was involved in these connections out here, and a couple times, you know what I mean? And so that's when something inside me told me to walk away, okay, from this community, okay? I'm not playing that games, you know what I mean? Like, even when I wasn't awake, I'm not playing no games. This person, and so now whoever chose, whoever led that narc into that connection he was in, man. And that's what we call influence, you know what I mean? And influence and being careful who's influenced us, and is that person living that life, is that person walking that walk that they talk, you know what I mean? Are they healing? Are they evolving? Are they doing, you know what I mean, like what they say, and you got to be careful. Like I said, the false influence and real influence, okay? And so and who we get advice from in this world. And this is one thing that God is teaching. He's and I've talked to a lot of people that were misled and wrong, and these people, again, they didn't care, you know what I mean, like, and I didn't have the wisdom or knowledge, and they led into situations that would cause destruction in people's life, and so we got to be careful with that, direct knowledge, you know what I mean? And so, like, I always give, when I give my knowledge, if someone comes to me, I'm not these people, I'm sorry, like, these people may be going through, we'll share more as we get down there, but like I said, I can get my knowledge on here and stuff like that, but these people are not welcome in my area, okay, as I share my story, but they're not welcome back in my area. They need to find their own wisdom from God or whatever, or they can watch my videos, but they're not welcome, okay, regardless, there's a lot that was wrongfully done, regardless, and all this thing, I guess God allows things for a purpose, and I just hope I could give a lot of knowledge to this, and help people. And it's not just about narcissism abuse. There's just a lot of things, but it's about, making sure, like, I give, I help so many people along my journey, constantly, you guys. And, is like, they'll share their thing with me, and I would not give them direct and say, you need to do this, you need to do this, you need to do this. No, it's like, I could give me my wisdom, and I went through, and I have, like, I feel like I'm 80, and, I have a really, really, really wise, I've been through a lot, and I dedicated myself to this journey of healing, evolving, and doing shadow work. And so, and I've been through a lot of trials, but anyways, but yeah, I hear their story, and I say, this is my wisdom, you know what I mean? Like, in this situation, but it's ultimately your decision. This is, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, this is, healthy, this is not healthy, I could give them that, like, hey, this is toxic, this is not toxic, this is, this person's abusing you, I could give them that knowledge, you know what I mean? Like, but it's ultimately, everybody has to, take wisdom in their life and apply it for themselves, and what they feel, or what the Lord's leading, or what they're leading you in your life, anyways, and just make those, like, is this make me happy? Does this, is this for my highest good? That's another thing you can look, is this for my highest good or my lower good? You know what I mean? And so you could be like, oh, this person's partying and doing drugs, and this friend's like promoting me to come out. Okay, that's a good one we'll talk about. But that's a good one as well. Hey, that's not good for your highest good. That's good for your lowest good. If you want to stay low and you don't want to heal and evolve and move up in life, then you keep doing that, okay? But if you want to evolve in life, you got to cut that friend cord. You know what I mean? And so, anyways, I'm trying to, but you got to cut that person off, okay? And we could talk about this in the story, you know what I mean? And my story. But anyways, and so sorry. I'm trying to stay on track, you guys. Just bear with me. I have so much to talk about, you guys, and I'm just working on getting all this out and organize this computer up here. And so I walk away from this community. This person chose to go outside this connection. That was the final draw, okay? And in my eyes, I saw this person is in the connection, and So okay. And then I messaged this person. I emailed this person a couple times. There's been a lot of miscommunication, blah, 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 before all this shit went down. And nothing. This is where I learned about, the silent treatment. This person, again, I guess he thought he could play games, you know what I mean? Like, and I wasn't healed. I looked naive at that time. So anyway, so I walk away. I tell him, at that time, okay, I don't feel that way, okay? Once you heal and you evolve, you disconnect. Again, there was more spiritual thing, but you heal and you evolve, you disconnect, okay? And so at the time, my spirit, my spirit's in love with you, blah, blah, blah. And he said, I want to be friends. So that's when everything's cut, right? That's what, in my mind. So I walk away. I say, okay, I wish you the best. God bless, and your connection, whatever, And so I walk away. And so now all this stuff starts happening, okay? Again, this is part of, healing those wounds still. I had to heal. But going through awakening, I'm evolving. And now this is where this person chose, when I was connected to this at the time before we got that cord cut, and the Lord took me away. God did, okay, from this individual because of what he was doing, okay, behind my back. And thankfully, because of who I am, he's shared a lot of certain things, you know what I mean, with me, and knowledge. And so I'm very thankful for that. But anyway, so he chose, to go outside here and I guess, play me. But I guess, I don't know, he tried to, again, now I learned about this person was not for me, okay? He was working against me and he's in competition with me, and there's a certain point I was like, okay, and then I started noticing, like, even when I, went and got this car, my other car, I just got my license around this time. And I got an old car, and it was slip inside. I almost got an accident. So I was like, oh my gosh, I need to get a new car. So I go and apply for this car. And I was like, Lord, if it's your will, then help me, bless me. You know what I mean? Like, I really need the safe car. And so I went and this guy did this thing and God did his work. And I drove out with this car. Okay. 2017 Tucson. I miss her. I miss my baby. Anyways. And so, anyways, all of a sudden he pulls up with a white car, the same brand. I'm like, now I look back, I'm like, oh my God, like he was like, just thought it was a competition or something, like I was doing something to one up him or something, like, because that's what they do, okay? That's what they do, right? It's like, it's a competition in my situation. He was competing. It's like, I'm just living my life, doing my thing, okay? But then I started noticing these things that he was doing, and this is where I was like, it's not competition. Like, I got that because I need it, you know what I mean? Like, anyways, and so that was the first thing, but I didn't look back and I'm like, wow. And I was like, at that time, I didn't think nothing of it, And, but anyways, at first it was like, oh, you think that, oh, you're influencing, you know what I mean? Like, and the half of the narc, okay, remember you have the dark part, and then you have the regular part of the narc, okay? I don't explain that. But it's like a love-hate thing, So that half of the part inspired and motivated him. But the other half is the half that was, coming up against me, you know what I mean? The demonic spirit, And so, anyways, and so... But anyways... So yeah, so then he chose to go out here, and in the beginning, and I walked away. I said, nope, I got to keep evolving. I got to keep working on myself. And I kept going on my path, right? And so I just knew that it's something my intuition told me to leave. And he wasn't, doing all these, hanging out, all these, they call it supply, whatever you want to call them, the options, supply. So he started going out here and doing all this partying and all this, you know what I mean? Like, in the counterfeit. And treating me horrible. And I was connected to this person at the time. I didn't know. I thought it was closed. You know what I mean? Because I shut that door. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you want to be a friend? Okay, bye. Have a nice. I wish you the best, right? But this person chose to fuck around with me. Okay, I was fine. I walked away. You know what I mean? Like, and oh man. And so I'm sitting here doing my thing. You know what I mean? Like, la 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 la. Like, oh well. You know what I mean? And no, this person, because. Now I'm figuring out this connection, chose to start, fucking with me, and now they watch you from fake accounts, okay? From the get-go, this person was watching me from fake accounts. I mean, it was weird. So in the beginning, it was so weird. It was stalker vibes, okay? It was fucking gross, and it was weird, and in the beginning, it was like freaky, you know what I mean? And disgusting and scary, like, ew, like, and I was like, so I got the worst of the worst of what a narcissist, you know what I mean? Then now this person starts doing, now I start doing witchcraft, okay, on me, you know what I mean? And mind you, it's it was a energetic thing. So again, I had to heal like all these wounds and stuff like that. I guess that's what they come in your path, right? All these wounds that cause you, again, that cause you to allow certain things, you know what I mean? And so, but anyways, and so this, I remember, again, I come from my mother, I watched her. It was my stepdad was a narcissist, okay, that physically, financially, mentally, verbally abused her, okay? And as a child, I look back and I could dissect, what she went through herself. Same thing, same old shit, and I just remember when she died, and she always made it, please don't ever, ever, ever let a man abuse you the way I was, the way I allowed it, and she didn't have the knowledge, she did the best she could, but she didn't know, the narcissism, you know what I mean? Like, and it was just toxic, very toxic and nasty, okay? And so I remember when she died, I remember keeping that vow to myself and to God, But anyways, and so here comes along my path, here comes the narc, like and you, again, this is just to learn that your value and your worth, you know what I mean? Like, and that, I'm not going to sit there and tolerate, and in the beginning you do, you know what I mean? When you have those wounds, something you're healing, right? But you heal and you evolve and you transform. It's like, fuck that shit. And you look at it and you're like, this person wasn't even breadcrumbing me, you guys. This person used me, and he was, again, so he started doing all this witchcraft, okay? Now, I'm sitting here like, there's no communication, okay? This person ignored me. Now, this is where outside influence on his end, okay? All these people on his end, his little pick-me, the karmic, he chose to be influenced, okay? And witchcraft, all this, they had that childish wound in the beginning, so you chose to be influenced. Now, this person's not dumb, but he chose to be influenced by these people, okay, which is kicked him out of his spot, okay, and so and that's where you got to be careful of how you're influenced. Someone's telling you, let's do this, fuck her, you know what I mean? Let's go party, let's go do this, and when this is his case, and you got tricked out of your spot, bro. And so and anyways, and so that's what was happening in the beginning, okay, and this person mistreated me again. Talking, what they do. This person started, talking all these lies. Now, mind you, he created an illusion. He ignored this connection. He didn't want nothing to do with it, right? Or, and I was sitting here on my end trying to, there's a lot of miscommunication, blah, blah, blah. Okay, and then, anyways, but he chose to create an illusion, okay? He chose to live in an illusion instead of the truth, okay? And so, and this is where I walk away. And so now I'm dealing with all this, okay? Now I'm being maliciously attacked, okay? I'm doing all this witchcraft, this person tried to do energetically. Okay, now this is where, the devil gave him a false lie, false promise, okay? So now, he's energetically, like I said in another video, it's called Destiny Swap. It's not Destiny Swap. It's energetically taking my energy, right? And then going out here and using it, for his supply, whatever, right? It's like, here, let me suck your energy, and energy vampires, right? And get ego stroked, right? At the time in beginning, and before I knew all this, stroking their ego, right? And then wanting to go out here, and give to everything else, okay? And so, so anyways, yeah. And so this person, I guess, sold his soul to the devil, for the life he has now, okay? And for whatever false promise that he, that was what he chose, anyways. And so, but anyways, and I'm sitting here like, fuck that shit, in my mind, I knew, what I mean? Then I was like, no, hell no. And so I'm not bowing down to you. I'm not, what I mean? Like, this person was like, even like, mind you, he created an illusion. He didn't want, right? But he was doing witchcraft and trying to stalk me. Like, it was weird, okay? And at first you come across this and I'm sitting here like, oh my God, like, what the fuck is going on? And it was just fucking, excuse my language, it was just disgusting, okay? And this is real shit, okay? And so I don't know how, so now, again, so he chose to go in this connection. And now, eventually, I found out that, he's got one of these karmics pregnant, okay? So now, whatever situation he's in a situationship, okay? Whether he chose to go into a relationship because of the child, whatever, you know what I mean? Like, and you should have, why would you get what I'm saying? Like, this person was trying to play me, you know what I mean? Like, and so, and that's where you call secret lie. There's secret lives. He's trying to hide all this stuff from me. You know what I mean? Like, and thankfully I hide my gifts and stuff like that. And but this is where they have to try to hide secrets and stuff like that, and doing the most so he could stay in my energy. You know what I mean? And I was just figuring out all this, in the beginning, and now and as you go through awakening, you evolve. But anyway, so now you're done. You're like, you are done. Like, dude, but no, this person was selfish, you know what I mean? And disgusting. He treated me now he started getting abusive, you know what I mean? And started, so everything that went on in his end, that's not my problem. I try to help this person as much as I can. Didn't, big fucking ego, pride, you know what I mean? So I let go, you know what I mean? Like, and this person wouldn't leave me alone, you know what I mean? He was stalking me. It was like gross, and but I don't know what he was saying on his end. I was, hell no, you know what I mean? Like, in the beginning, I was kind, and I gave this person so much grace, you guys, like, genuine to this person, that's what you do in the beginning, you're getting grace, and you're genuine, I dealt with this stuff, and this person, like, again, they're lessons, okay, to heal those wounds, right? And walk the fuck over my genuineness, my kindness, and no, and again, like, these people can't give you love, okay? It's a lesson for you to learn, okay? And but this person would continue, wouldn't leave me alone, you know what I mean? And he would continue doing witchcraft, and he would continue getting my energy, and like, and he's already known, you know what I mean? Like, he wanted the cake and eat it too, right? And so no, and it's about not being, not allowing. This person wanted to be, like, dominant, you know what I mean? Like, and then that's when the witchcraft, he's trying to control me through all this witchcraft, and, you know what I mean? Like, and again, but you can't control the chosen elite. You can't control a divine feminine, you know what I mean? It's not going to happen. It's going to do the opposite. And so anyways, again, jealousy, he was just out here trying to, there he goes with all the counterfeits, trying to make me jealous and stuff like that. It does the opposite. Again, unattractive, low vibrational energy. Anyways, and I mean, I'm seeing these things and I'm just like, and this person's playing himself, okay? Yeah, he thought he was playing me, but he played himself, okay? And, but anyways, I chose, again, kept evolving, I kept healing. Again, this person chose to be my enemy from the beginning, guys. And, no communication. This person knew, you know what I mean, who I was. He just thought that he could play and take advantage and abuse his power, okay? He played and abused his power, okay? And just thought that I could abuse her, do whatever I want, and I could just come spin the block. Think fucking again, honey. This person's not been booted out. He's been fucking kicked out of my life, honey. And I say that with power, and because, like I said, this person crossed the line, okay? I was impure. I was a very pure person, stuff like that. I've, since then grown and evolved and stuff like that, but this person walked all over, you know what I mean? And again, abused his power towards me, okay? And we divine beings bring so much love. We want everybody to win, okay? Before we win, okay? But he felt entitled, okay? Again, this person felt entitled, okay? And this is what they have. They have this, and, but anyways, so he, continued, he was out here he thought he got the next best thing. I'm telling you, okay, when I walked away, And he chose, the pick me. And now, mind you, the counterfeit he chose was doing witchcraft behind the scenes, was doing all this, like, pick me kind of things, you know what I mean? La, la, la. And I'm over here, I don't want nothing to do with these people, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just in this connection, and I'm fucking, like, like, I'm telling you, this person was abusing me, and, doing all this stuff behind the scenes. Oh, God, doing all this shit, and it was disgusting, you know what I mean? And, like, literally treating me like, and, like, the way they feel about themselves, you know what I mean? Like, the doormats. And, this person knew, but he chose a different path, you know what I mean? That's not no one's fucking fault. You made a choice to choose a different path. You don't get to, and then especially when abuse is involved, and then child and stuff, you don't get to spin the block, ever, you know what I mean? Like, you're done, you know what I mean? And I don't tolerate, you know what I mean? Like, I healed, I evolved, but I don't tolerate that stuff in my life. You're not going to put your mouth on me. You could talk all the smack you want behind me, but you are not going to put your mouth on me. You're not going to get that opportunity to put your mouth on me. These people are low vibrational. Again, no accountability. Oh, it's everybody's fault. Oh, it's everybody's fault. I got her pregnant. It's your fault. I stuck my dick in her and I got her pregnant. You know what I mean? Like, it's your fault. It's your fault. You have responsibilities. You know what I mean? You made that choice, and maybe you were around the time you lied. You gave connections. You lied. This person told me you want to be friends, and I walked away. You know what I mean? Like, and he had all these feelings. You know what I mean? Fake feelings. I don't consider them. Because you go through all this and holding all these feelings, and this person wants to spin the block to tell me now, after he's done all this shit, you guys. I don't care. Your fake feelings, you know what I mean? Like, this is a process, you guys. I don't have no hate, because this is a process, okay? This process is met, whether they choose or not to. It's a mirror, you know what I mean? I give this person grace because I know how this goes. I know how this goes. I had to learn and evolve and grow. But again, this is where the counterfeit. We have people that keep you low vibrational, and then the divine being that helps you rise to be the best. He didn't want that. He doesn't get that now, you know what I mean? He's broken that soul contract. It's over and it's done. And I want you the fuck out of my energy. And I have to be firm, you guys. I've barely spoken up for myself. You know what I mean? Like, and I've been through all this stuff. So I have every right now to share and put this person in his place, because you're done. Leave me alone. Stay out of my energy. I have no attraction to this person. I could joke, and I have a lot of jokes, don't get me wrong, guys. And this person talked a lot of shit, but he needs to look in the fucking mirror. You're looking a little old there, bro. Looking a little rusty there, Is that karma getting to you now? Mind you, guys, okay? Mind you, there was so much. This person would belittle me, bullies, you know what I mean? Like, and at the time, I didn't speak up for myself. I was just a very pure heart person. I was sitting there and looking at these people like dumb, you know what I mean? Like, dumb. Like, I'm not gonna, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't do nothing, you guys. Like, I didn't even, and so be it. I didn't retaliate with this person. I didn't, speak ill, you know what I mean? Like, to these people and stuff like that. I dealt with a lot, you know what I mean? I gave these people grace, okay? And they maliciously, for no reason, just start picking on me. And I'm over here doing my thing, not nerdy, but like, just a light, you know what I mean? And sharing my story, and they're behind the screen mocking, talking shit, and they have no room to talk shit. Look at your life. Like, these people are talking shit behind the screen, you know what I mean? Like, and watching me, and he was right there. Gross, huh? Gross. You know what I mean? And so, and I'm sitting here like, ew, you know what I mean? Like, I love who I am. I'm sorry you hate who you are. See, I embody what they are not, you know what I mean? And they see that. They don't want to give you credit. They don't want to, right? And he don't want to give you credit, but he was copying me, mimic. But it was so funny though, because you're mocking me and making fun of me, but you wanted it to be me. You're copying me. That doesn't make sense, right, guys? He's trying to copy me out here, but you're mocking me at the same time. It's a like demonic spirit, you know what I mean? Like, that doesn't make sense, right? This person, and regardless of what that person says, I know this person admired me, but then they also have the, it's just weird. It's so weird, you guys. I'm telling you, They admire you, but they hate you at the same time. You know what I mean? Because they want to be like you. You know what I mean? There you go. Thank you, Lord. And that's not my problem. You know what I mean? Like, and I've learned to be confident in who I am. I love myself. And this just helped me even more, you guys, to love myself. I've always been the same, except my knowledge and my wisdom, I've evolved, okay? Still loving heart, but now I don't, like, that was this is a huge lesson, okay, that I went through, and I didn't deserve this, okay? But I dealt with it like a boss. I fleeing the fucking demons, you know what I mean? They were throwing me all the witchcraft they were doing, you know what I mean? And this person thought he was a fucking Houdini, you know what I mean? A witchcraft Houdini, like, oh, I have a spell for everything, you know what I mean? And it was funny and I shared this passionately because for no reason they thought it was funny to mess with me, you know what I mean? But you reap what you sow, okay? Now, eventually when you go through this and that, I healed, I picked myself back up. Eventually, guess what? You reap what you sow. Now karma comes in, okay? Now what you put out, let me say, what you put out is what's going to come back. And no one does it for you in your life. Like, I put out so much love, so I'm getting so much love back. I'm starting to get so much love back in my life, you know what I mean? I give grace. I mean, I have a lot of beautiful things, you know what I mean, coming to me because of who I am and what I put in this world. And then you have some narc trying to degrade your character. That's your character. And you don't really need to say nothing, you guys. People are going to see them. You know what I mean? Eventually people see him for who he is. You know what I mean? And again, like this is now, just the beginning of the tables turning, And what I went through was disgusting, you guys. And again, he did it on purpose to try to break me. He was I didn't have to do nothing, you guys. Jealous, okay? This person was envious, okay? And when you're somebody that don't like to see somebody happy or smiling or good, you're dealing with demons that you need to address those demons. This person was very malicious and wouldn't leave me alone, you guys. Okay? I generally try to help, and whatever went on behind the scenes, all the stuff that, the witchcraft and stuff like that, all the people that were involved, he knows. And then he emotionally chose to abuse and throw that all on me, you guys, when I was in this connection. I mean, so much. That I tolerated. This is where they like to emotionally throw all to the main one. It's called to break this. They throw all the trauma. It's like and so this is where I iterate. They're looking for somebody that they could dominate. They could treat like trash. They could, you know what I mean? In and out of their energy, lie, cheat, manipulate, and they gave them that. You chose to pick me. This is where nothing, right? Because it's about power and control. I don't know. Listen, I evolved. I don't have no connection. There's a little in my past when I was around this person. I gave the person a couple hugs when I was there. That's it. Never been with this person. I don't want to be with this person. It was just a lesson, and it was just a quick lesson. I did what I needed to do, and I healed and evolved, but this person wouldn't stop because it was a game to him. And then he was trying to, he was out here building with the counterfeit, his false kingdom, right? His false life, his false everything. Like, I'm real. I live my life. I'm not, I came across this person, and then all this stuff happened. I had to go through this trial, whatever. There's no competition. There's only one of me. I'm not competing. I help empower women, okay? I help other women not to allow men like this, you know what I mean? To degrade them and stuff like that. And we could talk about, a lot of that in the counterfeits. And no man is going to degrade me ever. You're not going to put your mouth. You're not going to put me down. You're not going to degrade me. I am a valuable being. I'm a whole being that God has called me here with a purpose in my life. And I'm talking about those, the unhealed, abusive, toxic people, okay, in this world. I was called to break this, you know what I mean? And in my bloodline, you know? And I did. And again, in my situation, the person is looking for someone to dominate and control. That's not on his level, you know what I mean? Like, I was never, ever, he was never on my level, ever, you guys, even when I wasn't healed. This person knew that and tried to, again, he worked against me, wouldn't leave me alone, attacking, you know what I mean? And he messed with the wrong one. He thought, oh, just me. Oh, I have 10,000 angels and God on my side, honey. God. And he figured that out now. And these people do get karma. They reap what they sow, trust me. And what this person did was evil and wrong. And yes, shame on him. Shame the devil. God's telling me to shame. There's certain things that I let go in grace, but not abuse. That's one thing you call out. And I don't care what anybody's going through. And anybody is abusing you in any kind of way. You call that out or you reach out for help. When I was going through this, I didn't know how to reach out. I tried to reach out on here. And this person was just continue. You know what I mean? I want to make that very clear. You know, this is a process. There was a lot of confusion. No communication. Look at all this stuff got confused. You know what I mean? I generally cared about this person and all this lies and all the whatever, you know what I mean? And all these people on his ear. And this person didn't even reach out. No one reached out to talk to me about this. I don't know what lie the narc told when he ran away, you know, out here doing all this stuff. I had to go, you guys, and I don't joke around this, okay? I don't joke around people. The narc may go out here and play with people's hearts and minds and stuff. But I don't play that way. See, this is where God is showing this person what God has given me, who made me who I am today. People like to go around and use people, play with them, and not expect any consequences? And if you're going through, like these people going through stuff, that's, you reap what you sow. That's a lesson you have to learn. It's not okay to play with people. Now I'm having to play detective, and then this person had huge ego and pride. He didn't think he had to apologize. Nothing, you guys. Now I don't need an apology. I healed, I evolved. I mean, what you showed me was my closure, okay? I don't need closure, you guys. You don't. But it's funny because the narc does. Oh, there's no way after all this stuff. And then that she doesn't want me. There's no way. Like, I am the shit of the world. Like, oh my God, everybody wants me. Like, oh my God. Like, there's just no way she doesn't want me. You know what I mean? You got a fucking awakening, huh? Because that's a lie from the pit of hell, honey. I am the most unattracted to this person. And I'm not kidding you guys. I had to go through process. When you're healing, right? You want to throw up. And I'm attracted because beauty starts with inside. And it comes on the outer. Exudes on the outer. You know what I mean? Not outside to in, okay? And your insides, when someone treats you like this, is nasty. Which makes you ugly on the outside. I do not with the life of me like bullies. And bullies are just people that are insecure, okay? And then they will try to project what they feel about themselves onto you, okay? And this is when you heal and evolve. You learn, like, hey, you put out, these people need to learn lessons, you know what I mean? I don't care. You're done in my life. Like, you can marry the two president for all I care. You can have 20 girlfriends if you want, 20 wives. I don't give a fuck. You're done with me. Good riddance. I want to make that very clear to everybody. Man, it's like, you sit there and say something, to the narc, and it's like constant, you know what I mean? Get out of my energy. You're done. You don't get that treatment. You didn't earn my love. You did not earn my trust. You disrespected me. So quit trying to come at me with the same old shit, because I don't give a fuck. I've learned all the reaction abuse too, you guys. This person was doing so much trying to get me to react. And I learned to pace myself. You know what I mean? Like, I've learned to not, this person was doing so much witchcraft, you guys, and trying to get me to react. Like I said on the other videos, right? In the beginning, you feel sorry. You get all this information. You're just in the beginning stages, meeting the narc and stuff like that. And that's, this person thought I was so infatuated by him, you know what I mean? And I was so kind. I was. Not infatuated, but I was not infatuated. I thought, in the beginning, you think that, right? These are a connection, right? No, they're counterfeits. They're sent in your life as a distraction. And look at all the stuff that this person did, you know what I mean? That's not sent of God. You know what I mean? Get what I'm saying? They're distractions. And I don't know how long or whatever in your life there, but they can't love. You know what I mean? This is you come into your life, and you're a reflection of everything they are not. It's like again the mirror. And so again, like I said in my other video, thank you for showing me those wounds, and I healed my wounds, and I evolved. I don't deserve none of this. And then this person trying to go in and out and play me again, just but that's hurt. He's talking all the smack because he's hurting inside. But he's lashing out. You get what I'm saying? You cause your own pain, though. You have to deal with your own pain. But they try to lash out, be angry, do all this stuff, but deep down inside, they're hurting, right? It's like, grow the fuck up. Deal with those emotions. I went through a huge process. This is done, you guys, and once you heal more, you like to talk more and get more knowledge and stuff like that. And again, and then you go through this, right? And you're complete. And the time these people even realize anything like that, you're done. Like, the damage has been done. And now they want to come play nice and all this. And I don't want nothing to do with this person. Like, I'm unattracted to this person. Like, I'm not just unattractive because of the way he treated me. You know what I mean? And a real divine being doesn't allow that shit. That's not attractive. A real woman is not attracted to that. She's not attracted. Oh, here, let me go give you some flowers and say sorry. That's the bare minimum. Fuck that shit. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. You know what I mean? Sorry, that's abuse. And a man's coming here and bringing you flowers after he abused you and you accept that, that's abuse, okay? Say no. I watched that with my mother, and she would have forgiven them, you know what I mean? Like, she had kids, though, But that's no excuse. I'm thankful she finally left my stepdad, you know what I mean? And that's when I helped her, and I was in shelter, all this stuff I could share in other videos, and that's in the beginning of my walk, you guys, how I had to heal that. About, you had to heal a lot of things that, I always, wanted to protect her and heal and take care of her. And I just watched her go through a lot, And this is where, when she passed away, I made a vow to not allow that in my life and break those generational things. And I did. And I just evolved. I learned my lessons. And it's okay. Life's the lessons you go through. I don't feel bad. You know what I mean? Like, for anything, Yes, it was painful, the lesson. But I just really believe that universe and God, people reap what they sow. So I don't need to do nothing. God will defend. What's that scripture? There's a scripture that said, what is it called? I'll have to look that up. But there's a scripture too. Like, I will I'll have to look that up. Hold on. It says, the Lord will fight for you. You need to only be still. And that was one of the scriptures in this situation. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm sitting there quiet, like, I don't, even when I wasn't fully evolved healed, I was high vibrational. You know what I mean? I don't deal with that kind of stuff. You know, I'm not a bully. I don't do that stuff to people. We're not even in the same vicinity as this person. You know what I mean? I come from that, you know what I mean? Like, I grew up, and then you could see, as a divine being chosen, you could see when you look back and you heal and stuff like that. And as a child, again, I had this little, I think it was kindergarten, and this girl was pulling my hair. And so my mom, I kept crying, coming home. And so my mom went to the principal and to doctor and said, can you please move this girl? She's bullying my child. You know what I mean? And so, and the guy was like, oh, I'm sorry, I can't do nothing, blah, blah, blah. So this time my mom's like, okay, well, they're not going to do anything. So my mom said if she does it again, turn around and go bop. Now I was a little kindergartner, so small little hand, whatever. And so again, the girl did it again. She kept messing with me. So I turned around and went boom, like my mom told me. Never again. And she ended up moving herself out of the line. And she never bothered me again. And then there's another, in junior high, okay? This girl was bullying me, this little group, right? And so now, again, just shy, this person, sweet, you know what I mean? Like, again, I was just like, what the fuck? And so anyways, these girls, this one particular out of this group kept bullying me. So one day, and I would just, cry, whatever. At the end of the day, I was like, I think it was my mom, yeah. And I was a teenager. I think it was, how old was I? I forgot. It was like 8th, 9th, 6th. Oh no, it was like 6th, 7th or something like that. But anyways, and so so finally one day I was like, let me confront this person, okay? And so she comes out. I was like, I was tired of it, you know what I mean? And again, my mom said, defend yourself, And so I come out, and that one girl that was specifically bullying me, I said, let's do this. So boom, I come in here and I started, just got my thing. I took her head and went boom in the ground. You know what I mean? I said, leave me alone. It never bothered me again. I don't condone bullying at all. But I do believe standing up and for yourself and speaking, not letting people, you know what I mean? Like this that I went through. Downgrade your character. That's who they are. That's who they are. Spreading lies. And those lies are all about who they are. I'm a beautiful soul. I love myself. I love myself more after going through this, guys. And I'm just like, this person's learned a lot from me. That's what it's meant to do. It's sad because I learned some stuff from this person, but I learned to love myself and to really value myself and to not let people like you in my life anymore. And that's what it was meant to do. And again, with the enemy meant for evil, God meant for good. He turns it around. I don't have no hate in my heart for these people. I just step into my North Node. I'm stepping in my healed, evolved energy, honey. Yeah. I want to iterate. And again, so I just wanted to give you that quick rundown, and I'm going to still continue talking about things in this, but I just want to get this again for you guys know, those that didn't start, you know what I mean? Like, again, I'm telling this person, stay out of my energy. You're not welcome. You can't get involved. Hold me, because I've evolved. God has closed that door for a reason. And this person wants to try to come and spin the block. Let's talk about that, right? the how they try to be all nice and stuff like that after you're actually completely don't want nothing to do with them. Oh, now they want to come around and be nice, the fake nice, you know what I mean? Or they're dealing with karma, all this stuff, and here they come again, the selfish beings. Can you help me? I can't help shit, especially if they're dealing with karma. That's because of what you did for me. Why would you come around me to help you? Those are lessons for you to learn. That's what karma, you put that out. You put that energy out for me for no reason. And I was sweet and kind. You don't get that no more. And I want to make that very clear when people disrespect you, okay? Oh, why didn't I see that before? Because you're not meant. You are not meant to be in my future. You're not meant. You are not meant to see my worth, period, I guess. This person tried to play. He knew what he was doing. And he was out here and had this whole relationship. I was trying to play me, trying to play the counterfeit. Just all this nasty shit he was doing, you know what I mean? And now it's all catching up to him, right? Eventually, this is how God, good. You reap what you sow. So everything, and God does it in his own timing in everybody's life. You know what I mean? That's why you never, ever, ever always treat people. Everything. I don't care what I came across people. I don't care what job they have, whatever description, whatever judgment. You don't ever judge people because they could be the next fucking president for all you know. They could be the next person that could be your boss for all you know. You never treat somebody, disrespect anybody in this world like trash. And that's what's going on in the elite. God's teaching a lot of people in this world, okay? Those that mishandle and abuse their power and mistreat people and think that they're just the shit and that there's no consequences to their actions and I could treat anybody the way I want and belittle people. Now that I healed, I look at the red flags. Instead of looking for the good in them, I look at the red flags now. No, thank you. No, thanks. Liar, stealer, abuser. Bye-bye. And then before, when I was healed, I looked the best at people, right? Now it's the opposite, honey. I look at the worst, okay? And I decide from there. Now, everybody, there's lots of things in this world that happens, and I always just discern with God. And God will let me know, you know what I mean? I see people out there and I help a lot of people, with my energy, whatever I can at the time. But if I don't have it, I'm not helping nobody. I have to have my cup overflowing before I can help other people. That's what he's taught me. So let's see, God has been I've been pouring in myself, pouring all this, thank you, all this love into myself, all this energy, evolving everything. I love evolving, guys. I've gotten addicted to evolvement, to doing the shadow work. I look at this area and I'm like, let's work on this, you know what I mean? And then I look at this area of my life and I'm like, I could be better in this area. Okay, I need to be a little more firm in this area. You know what I mean? It really does. It comes really, really addictive, and I know this video's long, but anyways, I just want to get this video out because, again, this narc is still in my energy, guys, and enough is enough, and you're done, bro. This person abused his power, and was not fair. I don't want nothing. I don't want you to come back and make it fair. I don't want none of that. Don't you get that? I can't even look at this person I don't want nothing. So I want to make that very clear. They try to, I don't know what God is doing. I can't say that. Sometimes God will make people come apologize to you, you know what I mean? Because of who you are and stuff like that. But I told God, I don't need that. You know what I mean? I'm okay. You know what I mean? I really am. And I just wish these people the best. I pray that these people learn their lessons. You know what I mean? And I'm a big one for the narc. You know what I mean? I am a big, 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 big fucking lesson. Just like you were a big lesson to me. And you did your job. I healed and evolved. I healed those wounds. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for showing me that. Thank you. I'm more beautiful than I was before I met you. Oh, I have so much to say. I have so much jokes too, you guys, about this. I try to laugh, you know what I mean, and joke, but I want to be firm because this is real life, It's not okay to go around and just fuck with people, you know what I mean? Like these people did. Some God and angels are like, why is this happening to me? That's because you put that out. I don't think they understand you reap what you sow.